Hey guys, it's Libby and this is Zoe. I am here today to give an apology. I'm gonna start off by saying that I know that my words are not gonna be enough for a lot of people. I know a lot of people are going to be critical of this video and of my apology, and that it's just not gonna be good enough. They're gonna think I'm being insincere and just saying it to say it or whatever. But I'm telling you that I swear to God, and I never say that this is coming from a place of honesty. And that's all I can give. That's all I have for you, is what I truly feel in my heart. So this is all I have. This is all I have, and I'm gonna give it to you. And I hope you can accept it, because it's what I truly feel and what I mean. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and start talking more. I want to say that I'm sorry for any harm that I've caused. Me personally, I have read the arguments, I have read the comments, the messages, the letters. I have read them, and I will never understand exactly why this is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I will never understand why this language in particular is so, like, controlled, I guess. I don't know how to say it right, but like, I'll never understand why, or I mean, maybe one day I'll understand, but at this point I still just don't understand why I can't do what I'm doing. Like, I understand that you say it causes harm. I understand you say I'm pushing misinformation, that I'm getting clout for a language that isn't mine, but that's the point that I understand the least. I think, like, the other two I can kind of understand, but the getting clout for it, I know that this, like, all I can say is I'm sorry, but I don't understand, but I'm sorry. Like, I am sorry. I never, like, if you think that I'm the kind of person who wants to cause harm, if you think that I'm the kind of person who wants to make, like make things bad, like, I don't know, like, I'm not that person. And it's hard for me that there's so many people out there right now who think that that's me, who think that I'm evil, who think that I'm selfish. And, like, the way I've always viewed my channel is that I've inspired a lot of people to learn sign language, and that was my whole goal all along. I've never thought that they should, well, at the beginning I thought that it was okay for me to teach, but I nipped that in the butt pretty quick. But I, since then, have never thought that I'm the person they should be learning from. So I've never tried to be a teacher. I've just tried to be someone who is like, hey, sign language is awesome and it's important to learn, and here's a fun way to learn it, you know? Like, because hearing people who don't understand deaf culture, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, you don't understand deaf culture, but I took the classes, buddy. I understand a lot. I don't understand everything, but I understand a lot. They're gonna be like, so the people who haven't learned about deaf culture and the history and stuff, like, they don't see a reason to learn sign language. You know, they don't understand that it's the third most used language in the United States. They don't understand that this community is constantly shut out by people who can't communicate with them, and the people who don't cater to their needs the way they should. Like, needs for communication through captioning, or, you know, an interpreter or whatever. But they don't understand why it's important to learn sign language. So the purpose of my channel was to give people another reason why they should learn sign language, and if that reason is for fun, that's better than nothing. That's what I thought, at least. I thought it was better than nothing for people to learn sign language for fun. But then, like, I'd get comments being like, OMG, I work at McDonald's and I was able to communicate with a deaf customer because you inspired me to learn sign language. Like, that was the goal. that was my goal, you know, like to make people want to learn. That was all I wanted. And like people saying I'm just doing it for clout, it's like, I'm not. Like, if I was just doing it for clout, like, it's just, all I'm trying to say is that I was coming from a place of good intentions. I was coming from a place of wanting to make the world better. And I've been informed that I've in fact made things worse by putting my non-fluent ASL out there and therefore shifting the view of what ASL looks like. I've been told that I profited off the language, but I want to make things clear right now that my covers are not monetized. They're not. They have ads because the owner of the songs is like, hey, I'll put ads on that video. But I don't put ads on that video. I don't get the money off that video. And then the t-shirts that I sold, at first, yes, I was making a profit. I was. But then people were like, hey, that's not okay. And I was like, oh. Like, and at first when I was making a profit, I was also donating to a deaf charity. I can't even remember which one it was. But it was something for deaf children, I think. But me donating a part of the profit wasn't enough. So instead, I decided to sell the shirts at cost. Right now they're for sale for $8, which is how much it cost to make the shirt, get it printed, get it designed, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I don't make a profit. I just want to clear that up. I'm not making a profit. And the people who were arguing about my throne chat room, originally I made it to practice sign language in and stuff with my fellow followers and such. And I charged a fee for it because that's number one, that's how Throne works. You have to set a fee. And then number two, I viewed it more as I've got to moderate a chat room with all these people. I've got to constantly make content for them. So, like, outside of what my normal responsibility is as a YouTuber. So, I charged a fee for that reason, just because it's more work for me, not because I'm using sign language, but because it's work for me. And I know a lot of people still think that's not okay. Okay. That chat room now is no longer sign language centered. It's not. It's just going to be a little chat room for me and some of my followers to hang out in and talk in and stuff like that. If some people use sign language, okay, great. But, like, that's not what I'm pushing it as anymore. That said, the profit argument is a little frustrating for me because I'm not making money really off the language. But anyways, I understand that making money off the language is not okay. And at first I didn't understand with like the t-shirts, I didn't understand why that wasn't okay. Just have some hand shapes on a t-shirt. I didn't understand why that was okay, but then when people told me, I was like, oh, I get it. You know what I mean? That's why I changed from making a profit to not making a profit off those t-shirts. That said, what else did I have to say? I'm sorry, I'm like saying so many things that it's hard for me to remember what I've said, what I haven't said. I didn't like write out a plan or an agenda for this video. I'm just speaking from the heart. I guess I'll just wrap back around to I'm sorry. I know I've been doing this for a long time, 5 years. A lot of people, Miss Deaf Queen on Instagram said 10 years in a video, and then somewhere else somebody said 7 years, I guess. It's been 5. Still a long time, okay? Still a long time for me to have been doing this when it upsets a lot of people. And I'm sorry that I didn't listen sooner. I'm sorry that I ignored your feelings. I'm sorry that I didn't just take my not understanding and shelf it and just be like, okay, I don't understand. Oh well, this is what they feel, because your guys' feelings are valid. I'm so big on your feelings are valid, like that little mantra. And I'm sorry that I didn't implement that in this case. I'm sorry that I didn't take that to heart and say, okay, but these people's feelings are valid. I guess I didn't want to believe that I was doing something bad, that I didn't want to believe that I was doing something wrong, and so I like justified it by the people who said I was doing something good, specifically like deaf people, hard of hearing people, interpreters, whatever, who said I was doing good. I'd be like, but they say I'm doing good, they say I'm doing good. And you know, it's easier to do that. I took the easy way out. I did. I said, these people support me, so you know, like, that's how I felt. I was like, they support me, so it's not all bad. It's just they don't think it's bad, so it's not bad. You know, I never really took a random hearing student's word as, you're doing great, honey. Like, I've never taken that to heart and been like, oh, well, they think I'm good. Like, I know they have no standing to say anything, you know. But I ignored the deaf people and deaf community allies who said it was bad. And I'm sorry, because your feelings are valid. They were valid, they always were, and I'm sorry that I ignored them. Sorry, I wanted to film this all in one take, but my memory card ran out of space, so I had to delete some stuff. Anyways, back to what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about how I have, number one, deleted comments and blocked people, and number two, when I have ignored feedback. So they kind of go together. The only comments I've ever blocked or deleted have been comments that were mean. I know what constructive criticism is. I know what it looks like, I know what it feels like, I know how it comes across. I rarely got constructive criticism, and that's like me coming from my place of honesty and from my perception of these comments as well. The way I perceived it. Maybe when somebody was typing out a comment, they didn't mean for it to come across as hateful or angry or mean or whatever, but usually they did. And I'm not blaming you guys, because I know that this is a battle that you guys have been facing with me for 5 years. I know you're fed up, I know you're angry, but ever since the beginning, like, I remember like just a little bit into me doing YouTube, I don't know how long it was, but like I was sitting at home crying on the couch because somebody made a whole Facebook post about me, just tearing me apart. And like, that's the kind of thing I block. Someone who's being cruel. I know what constructive criticism looks like. I know what feedback looks like. But that's not what I usually get. I usually get hatred. I do. I'm being dead fucking honest. Like, I mean, again, like, I swear to God that the way that I perceive the comments that I block and delete are as hatred. I'm not trying to cover things up. I'm not trying to silence the voice of people. Like, a lot of people are like, she blocks all the deaf comments. That's not true, because I block any comments that come across. Like, you could be hearing, you could be an interpreter, you could be an ally, whatever. If you're coming across as hateful, I block it. I do, because my channel is a place of positivity and niceness and stuff. Like, that's the vibe that I'm going for. So I delete the mean stuff because I want it to be a happy place. And if I leave the mean stuff, then my followers are gonna go in the comments and respond to you, and then it's gonna turn into a fight in my comments, and I don't want that. I don't want fighting in my comments. I don't want this hatred in my comments. So, I mean, I don't know. I know that a lot of people still think it's wrong that I do that or did that, because ever since this most recent thing has occurred, I haven't been deleting and blocking. I've just been letting it. Oh my gosh, the TV like made a sound that scared the crap out of me. And Zoe. Okay. Sorry, that really scared me. What was I even saying? In this recent instance of what's been happening, I don't like, I haven't been blocking and stuff, and I've just been letting it come in and all that good stuff. And yeah, so I've stopped doing that, if that helps you at all. Although the people who have commented on my personal Facebook page and the people who have commented on my recovery account, those do get blocked, because that's not the place for this. especially my recovery account. Especially my recovery account. That is not what that account is about at all. So, if you commented there. But yeah, so I haven't been deleting comments and stuff in this most recent happenstance. Is that what happenstance is for? I don't know. But yeah, so I can't remember honestly what I've said. This has been a very long video. I don't know what I've said and what I haven't said. So I'm just gonna reiterate the fact that I'm sorry, that I may never totally understand where you're coming from because I'm not in that position. But I have done my research. I've done the reading of your guys' messages and comments and stuff. And yeah. So, like my last video declared, I'm stopping, okay? I'm stopping because I understand that I'm hurting some people. There's a lot of people who benefit from what I'm doing, but I'm hurting some people, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I've finally, I think, internally accepted that what I'm doing hurts people. Like, I hadn't accepted that before. Like I said, like I would just go to the people who were okay with what I was doing and use that to justify my videos. But now I've come to the point where I've accepted that what I do causes harm. And I never wanted to do that. You know, like I said, I was just trying to make people want to learn sign language. So, yeah, you know, just know that I never came from a place of ill will. I never came from a place of wanting to hurt anyone, you know. And if you think that that's who I am, I don't know if there's anything I can do to change your mind. It's not really my place to change your mind, you know. It's your opinion of me. That's none of my business. Yeah, so I also just want to say the reason I didn't sign in this video is, number one, people would make fun of me, and number two, people might still say something about clout. But I think it would have been nice if I could have delivered this message in the language of the people that I've heard. That way they didn't have to read captions. But, you know, this is probably the most PC way to approach this, so here I am. Yeah, again, I know this isn't gonna be good enough for a lot of people, but that's all I can do. It's all I can give. It's all I have for you. So, yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. Yep, that's all, I guess. I'm sorry.